One of President-elect Trump's biggest campaign promises, which helped him win the election, was to create the largest deportation force in American history. Now, the question is, how will that occur? But as we look forward, we revisit what his first administration did. A new film by Errol Morris, Separated, details the Trump administration's controversial family separation policy. The film, based on a book by NBC News correspondent Jacob Soboroff. Take a look at some of it.
I was at a kid's birthday party where I got another call from Katie Waldman saying, we're going to let you into the epicenter of separations. And that place was called Ursula, the Central Processing Center in McAllen, Texas. I still remember that I was wearing a light blue button-down shirt. I had my notepad. That was the time where I saw what had been talked about and rumored in the media. Kids locked up in cages, sitting on these concrete or linoleum floors.
And NBC's Jacob Soboroff, the executive producer of Separated, is with us. Jacob, what a treat to see you.
It's so good to see you, Jose.
Thank you
for
so
doing
much.
This.
You know, more than 5,000 kids were separated under that Trump administration policy. What struck you the most of that policy, and where are those kids?
I think that's the most important question, that there's as many as 1,400 who are still
today.
They do not have confirmed reunifications today, according to the Department of Homeland Security. And when Errol Morris and I set out to make this film about what a Republican-appointed judge called one of the most shameful chapters in the history of our country, you know, we were both asking the same questions about how the government could have done something so deliberately cruel. The facts bear that out. That's not a opinionated statement. That's based on objective fact. How it could have been so haphazardly implemented, and I think that that's a generous description. And, you know, it was child abuse, according to the American Academy of Pediatrics. We shared these questions. We decided to get together to move this forward, but we never would have known 4 years ago when we set out that today, as I was sitting here talking to you, Donald Trump, the man responsible for that policy, would be on the verge of walking right back into the White House today.
You know, in 2019, I specifically asked the then President Trump specifically about his family separation policy. Take a look at what he said back then. The zero tolerance policy, was it a mistake?
It's not a mistake. We want to have strong borders. It's not a mistake.
Zero
but
tolerance
let me just explain
separation
something.
of children from parents.
No, let me explain.
Thousands and thousands of children separated.
When I became president, President Obama had a separation policy. I didn't have it. He had it. Under the Obama plan...
Sir, we're talking about your plan.
No, we're not, because I'm the one that put people together. They separated. I put them together.
You did not... In your film, you say that that policy was really the brainchild of then Attorney General Sessions and Stephen Miller,
who's on his way back into the White House right now. Watching that, I will never forget that day when you did that interview with Donald Trump, because that was 1 year to the day that Donald Trump signed the executive order ending the policy that he himself put into place. What did he say on that day? I didn't like the sight and the feeling of the families being separated, not because he felt that way. Look what he said to you there. He wanted to do it again, but because of public pressure. And that's what this film actually reminds me about, is that people all over the world stood up in opposition to this policy. It's different than the moment we're in today, where immigration has become yet again such a divisive political football. It was like X-ray vision everybody had about what the immigration system was doing to children, that it was deliberately ripping them apart from their parents, only to harm them, you know, to scare other people away from coming to this country.
And there was historic numbers of deportations under Obama and certainly George W. Bush, but the policy, a specific policy of ripping apart parents from their children was never instituted in any of those administrations.
Never, ever. And I'm so glad that you did mention that, though, Jose. We wouldn't have gotten to this point without years of bipartisan, punitive-based, deterrence-based immigration policy that treats migrants as criminals from Democrats and Republicans. But nobody did. Nobody has done what Trump has ever done. And we perhaps are on the verge of it happening again with mass deportations.
Are you worried about that?
I think that everybody who's out there and potentially subjected to family separation by another name, that's what mass deportation is worried about that. And that's what you hear when you talk to people.
Jacob, I have to tell people it's really important that they see this film. And I'm so glad we're going to be seeing it here on MSNBC. But I thank you always, my friend. Much admiration to you.
Likewise. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jacob. Separated premieres right here on MSNBC on Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. And if you're in the New York City area, you can catch a special screening tonight at the IFC Center with a question and answer area between Jacob and the New York Times' Michael Barbaro. Scan the QR code right there on your screen, and you can get tickets there.
Tonight.
Tonight.